Hey everyone! Have you ever wanted to elevate your landscape photography using breathtaking panoramic shots? You're in the right place. In today's video, we'll cover the basics of stitching panoramic images using PTGui, one of the best tools out there. PTGui is a software for assembling your photos into wide, seamless landscapes. Whether you're working with simple panoramas or more complex scenes, this guide will make your process smooth and simple. But that's not all. Stick around until the end for a bonus tip. It will significantly streamline your post-processing workflow. This will save you time and make your editing more efficient. And remember, this is just the first part. In our next video, we'll cover advanced techniques like masking, fine-tuning exposure settings, and editing control points for ultimate precision. Ready? Let's get started.
Today, we'll be stitching panoramic photos using what is probably the best software for panoramic photography, PTGui. While many programs can stitch photos, most only allow to upload the source files, stitch them together and provide a final result without much control over the process. PTGui, however, is a specialized program designed specifically for panoramic stitching, offering extensive options to influence the process. Additionally, it can handle exposure bracketing and output a stitched panorama in a bracketed layers within a Photoshop format, and that's brilliant. But be careful, because you will need the Pro version, as the basic PTGui version doesn't support exposure bracketing. Okay, let's get started. First we open PTGui, currently at version 12.27, but the version 13 is on the horizon. And load our source images, exported as TIFFs from Adobe Camera Raw. Okay, here we have our source files. Open. Great. Quite a few people ask why we don't simply upload RAW files directly into PTGui as it supports RAW files. The reason is simple. In ACR, we perform crucial adjustments like white balance, chromatic aberration correction, lens profile corrections, etc. All of which would be missed if we skip that step. Next, head to project settings here and make sure to disable perform automatic exposure and color adjustment. Okay, it's a strange default setting that we need to turn off. Okay, now we go back to the main project assistant here. Okay, and right now PTGui offers the step number 2, which is to set up the panorama, or in other words, align images. But if we show the source photos with exposure bracketing, PTGui will automatically offer the option to enable HDR mode or no HDR. So we click on enable HDR mode. Okay, the bracketed exposure window will pop up, and we leave the first option selected, which is merge bracketed images to HDR and link the positions. This option is for photos taken with a tripod, and since landscape photography typically involves using a tripod, we choose this option. But if for some reason we shot a more documentary style panorama handheld, then we would select the second option, this one. Once we click OK, PTGui will merge all the exposures, and we will immediately see a preview of the color and tonal appearance of the source images. You see? Wait a second. Okay, it's done. Now let's complete step number 2 by clicking Align Images. Okay, we'll wait a moment while PTGui detects control points between the neighboring photos, and then shows the first preview of the panorama in a new window called the Panorama Editor. Just wait a moment. Okay, and it's here. Perfect. Working in the Panorama Editor is crucial for determining how the final panorama will appear, so let's not overlook this step. What will we encounter in the Panorama Editor? First, we'll need to choose the projection type. So click the arrow to open a list of all the projection types. Okay, it's here. We can browse between them to see how each one impacts the panorama. Okay, we can see the difference. Personally, I choose the Mercator type 99% of the time. So this one, perfect. Even if you like the projections, the panorama will often be curved. Okay, here. Okay, in most software, this is a difficult problem to fix, but in PTGui, it's very simple. Just click and hold the left mouse button and drag the mouse downward. The horizon will align quickly and easily. See, it's very simple. Okay, if the image is still to the left or right, click and hold the right mouse button instead and rotate the photo. Okay, like that, perfect. To ensure precision, we can use a grid of guidelines, adjusting their density with the small white triangle below the image. Here. Okay. Perfect. Around the panorama, we might see a checkered background. It's here. Okay. To view the entire panorama, it may sometimes be necessary to adjust the background size. We can do it using the sliders to the left and below the image. It's here and here. Simply like that. Okay. To the left, right. Okay, perfect. If the checkered pattern doesn't surround the entire panorama, PTGui will export it cropped, so be cautious. The checkered background should be visible around the entire image. Like that. Okay. In version 12, we need to switch to exposure fusion. It's here. Okay, apply. Perfect. We can see the difference right now. This option usually provides better color and tone results than tone mapping. Even if the image appears darker, it is more balanced tonally and color-wise than with tone mapping. While we can adjust settings like brightness, boost shadows, reduce lights, etc., we don't use any of these tools in PTGui. We'll save the final adjustments for Photoshop. And now the final step in the Panorama editor. If we export the image as it is, it will include the checkered background, like here. Okay, while it isn't a problem as we can crop it in Photoshop, it is unnecessary to export extra data. So move the mouse to the edges of the photo, okay, like here, and adjust the yellow crop lines. Okay, like that. Okay, perfect. Everything inside will be exported, everything outside will not. And here is a tip, don't place the crop lines exactly at the edges of the panorama. Not like that. Okay, we'll do the precise cropping in Photoshop. Okay, and that's it for this section. So close the Panorama editor. Okay, and return to the main screen. Now we are at the final step, step number 3, create panorama. So click the button to be taken to the corresponding tab in the menu. Okay, what do we need to configure here? First, we'll see the final resolution of the image. Okay, it's here, but we'll not change it, it's just for reference. We will, however, change the file format. Okay, it's here. So instead of JPEG, we'll select Photoshop Large PSB. Okay, we'll also adjust the settings here to 16-bit and no compression. Okay, now we'll configure the output. It's here. Blended panorama means PTGui will export one panorama, that is one layer in PSB format. It will be the panorama adjusted for color and tone by PTGui's algorithm. But we also want to export the individual panoramas, dark, middle and bright exposures, all in one PSB file in separate layers. So we need to enable blend planes. Now just click Create Panorama. And we are done. PTGui will export the PSB with all the panoramas layered, including masks. Perfect. And now for a bonus tip. Always save your project on PTGui. Use this little diskette icon here, which will be active after the stitching. Why? It's simple. PTGui exports not only the PSB file, but also a small XMP file, which contains all the information about the edits and settings we applied. It often happens that we forget something in the previous step in Adobe Camera Raw, or decide to adjust the RAW files differently. If we re-export TIFFs, we would have to redo all the PTGui settings. But if we have saved the project, we can just reload it and use the newly adjusted TIFFs. So don't forget to save your projects, it will save you a lot of time. And guys, we have reached the end. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more photography tips and tutorials. Thanks for watching and happy editing!
By the way, have you heard that you can join us on our exclusive photography expeditions to Lofoten in Iceland? If you want to know more, check the link below.